Hello, and welcome back to Hitman. And in this series we will go back to where it all started, and this time round we will focus on completing as many of the challenges as we can on each and every one of the primary Hitman targets, with maybe a few interesting bonus kills on the way. Today we are in Colorado for the String Quartet challenge, which entails killing all of our primary targets with a fiber wire. So strap in, this is going to be quite a long one. So for today's challenge, as usual, we'll be starting at the greenhouse. We will be bringing with us some coins and a fiber wire and a silenced pistol. Everything else is available on the map. So with that all said, let's get reacquainted with our targets, shall we?
Sean Rose, Australian environmental terrorist and explosives expert. Ezra Berg, retired Mossad interrogator. Penelope Graves, former Interpol anti-terror analyst. And finally, Maya Parvati, former assassin and gunrunner for the Tamil Tigers. Whether a direct threat to the ICA or not, we need to know the Shadow client's true agenda.
So, right from the start and off the bat, we require a change of outfit. Our first target will be Maya Parvati, because she is probably the most trickiest to fiber wire. Everybody else is relatively simple and straightforward. So we're going to make our way to the water tower, and into the bathroom of the water tower. We're going to overflow the sink and plug ourselves up right in the corner here behind the door, and that's going to attract the attention of one of the point men. And luckily for us, it's not the actual point man, it's the guy who doesn't limp. So we're just going to wait for him to come in. We're going to close the door behind him, and once he turns off the water, we can then pounce on him, render him unconscious, and take his outfit. And something I did notice whilst practicing on this level, the actual point man, that gentleman just there, he's allowed to carry a sniping rifle in Hitman 3. He's the only person I've noticed who isn't suspicious when carrying a sniping rifle. Useful to know. But once we have the point man outfit on, we can then make our way over to Maya Parvati in the big red barn, and she is currently in attendance, but that's not a problem because we need to set up a few things first. So we're going to make our way around to the side of the barn here to where this gentleman is, and we're going to wait for him to make his way over to the shelves that are just around the corner to the right. And when we get there, we're going to pounce on him, render him unconscious. We're going to hide his body in the crate provided, try to make sure that Maya Parvati has left at this point, because she will walk past that doorway and she could see you in the act. So once we have our guard friend safely tucked up, we're going to collect up his gun, and we're going to set a coin trap. So we're going to place one coin about here, one about here, and one about here. So with our coin trap now set up, we're going to pick up the propane flask that's in the corner here, and we're in for our first wait, because we need to wait for Maya Parvati to go through her entire routine and make her way back here. And when she does, for me at least, this doesn't happen every time, Sean Rose is also in attendance, so we need to wait for them to have their little conversation. Eventually Sean Rose will make a phone call and leave, and at that point, because Maya will also be leaving as well, we want to throw our propane cylinder just down where the first of our coin trail is. That will get a few people's attention, and Maya will send over a guard. She'll do this whether Sean Rose is there or not. This guard will always apparently come over first. So we're going to practice our coin trap on him. So we're going to let him collect the first 2 coins, and when he goes in for the 3rd and final coin, once again Maya should have left by this point, and we're free to render him unconscious, hide his body in the crate provided. We're going to collect up his gun and reset our coin trap. We can't reset our trap and have 2 guns, but there is a gun case just behind us. This technically doesn't work. You can put the gun in the case and people will still spot it as a gun just lying around, but it's out of our way. So we can now reset our coin trap in exactly the same way we did the first time, collect up our propane cylinder, and once again take position behind the bollards here and await the arrival for a second time of Maya Parvati. Now this time round Sean Rose is not in attendance, so there's no conversation to wait through. She's going to make her way straight over, and we can then throw our propane cylinder on the floor. That will get her attention, and she's got nobody else to send over, so she will then come over and investigate herself. And just like we did with the guard, we're going to let her collect the first 2 coins, and when she moves in for the 3rd coin, we can then throttle her with our fiber wire. So if you haven't already, now's the time to select your fiber wire, and we're just going to follow Maya into position.
Yes, sir.
That's 2 coins collected, and we want her to get to the 3rd coin because there are men up on a balcony up in the hayloft, and they can see to this area.
Maya Parvati is down. Good work.
So 1 target down, 3 to go. Our next target also requires a small amount of setup and another change of disguise. So we're going to make our way over to the shed by the farmhouse, the shed where Ezra Berg frequents. We're going to take the gun we've collected and we're going to place that on the floor just here. There is like a spike in the ground around about there, and that's roughly where you want to place it. We're going to hide in the bushes for the 2 guards to have their conversation and let that play out, and once that's finished, the guard outside the shed will spot the gun. He will take the gun away, and when he does, we can then approach the shed and we can flip the fuse box switch on the wall, which will then distract the guard from inside outside. And when he comes out to investigate, we can duck in through the window and collect the basement key. You may have guessed, if we're getting the basement key, who our next target is, and you would be correct in thinking that it is Ezra Berg. So once the guard goes to investigate the fuse box, we can duck through the window, collect the basement key, and then we're going to go to the removals vans and put on the elite soldier outfit. Just make sure you're moving away as you do that, so that as soon as you're finished you leave, otherwise you may get spotted. We're going to make our way up to the farmhouse and in through the side window just to avoid the cameras above all of the doors. So at the moment Sean Rose is in attendance. We're going to make our way into the operations room, and we're going to take Sean Rose's room key while we're here, before making our way down into the basement. And luckily Ezra Berg isn't here, so we can make our way straight down into the basement, and we need to get rid of the guard down here. Almost timed that wrong, but we did manage to get away with it. So all we've got to do is get behind him, render him unconscious. We want to grab his gun because we're going to be using that as a distraction as well, and we're going to hide his body in the crate at the end of the room. So next up comes another couple of long waits, and once we've set this up, we're going to have to hang around for a little while. So we're going to place the gun nice and clearly in the middle of the room there, select our fiber wire, and we're going to hide behind the air conditioning unit or the heating unit, whatever it is, that is just around at the back of the room here. and we're going to await the arrival of Ezra Berg. This can take a little while, and when he arrives, he will have a guard on patrol with him. The guard normally isn't with him, but he does accompany him to the basement. And Ezra Berg will spot the gun and go to tell the guard, but as he moves, the guard also goes back to his original spot. So they have to both make it back there before Ezra can inform him that there was a gun just feet away from him. The guard will then come down and remove that gun into the farmhouse, leaving Ezra Berg alone in the basement. So we're just going to wait for the guard to mount the stairs. And once he's clearly out of eye line, we can then approach Ezra Berg and throttle him with the fiber wire.
Ezra Berg has been eliminated. Good work, 47.
So we're going to hide Ezra in the crate at the back of the room, and now comes our next long wait. We are going to make our way to the farmhouse door at the top of the basement stairs, and we're just going to wait right here because we only have 2 targets left, and as you can see, neither of them are anywhere near the farmhouse, and we can eliminate them both in the farmhouse. So we're just going to wait right here for either of our targets to arrive. And for me, the next target to arrive will be Penelope Graves. Now this is a very, very simple one, as long as Sean Rose is not here. So Penelope Graves will approach the farmhouse, she will come into the entrance hall, and she will approach the grandfather clock. At which point we can then exit the basement, walk behind her, casual as you like, and throttle her with the fiber wire. As you can see, her bodyguards remain outside with their backs turned.
Keeps perfect time.
So once she's in position, all we've got to do is get behind her, throttle her with the fiber wire, and drag her into the crate.
Graves is down. Excellent work, 47.
So that's 3 down and 1 more to go. So we're going to now make our way upstairs, being very much aware of the patrolling enforcer. We're going to make our way into the hacker's room, and we're going to wait right here by this flag, just so that we're out of sight of the patrolling enforcer. And we are going to now wait for Sean Rose to make his way back to the farmhouse. And eventually he will make his way into the bathroom, which we have a key for the door, and we can then fiber wire him in the bathroom. So Sean Rose is now back in the property, and it does take him a while to make it upstairs. He does wander around quite a bit. He's now in the study, and his next stop will be the bathroom. The patrolling enforcer has made his way over to the balcony area, so we are free and clear at this point for a few moments to make our way to the bathroom. We're going to meet Sean Rose there. Just keep an eye on the patrolling enforcer, because this could be quite tight, as it will be for me. Your timing may be such that the patrolling enforcer is not an issue, but we're going to have to unlock the bathroom door, get inside, close the door, and throttle Sean Rose before the enforcer comes around the corner and spots us.
Sean Rose confirmed down. Nicely done, 47.
So that's 4 targets down, all with the fiber wire, which will secure you the String Quartet challenge. All that's left for us to do is to make good our escape, and I know that the bridge is the closer exit, but it does involve navigating a few cameras. So my exit of choice for Colorado is the boat exit around the back of the water tower. So there we go, that is the String Quartet challenge. I have been Anubis, and I will see you all in the next video.